Hello again, children. I sincerely hope you had a good day. I thought of a story for you all today when I was out in a nearby wood, so I recorded it for you. It's called The Enchanted Grove and the Secret Song. So I will put that on for you now. It's quite a long story, so relax and just listen. Oh, and before I forget, Mrs. Florey's story is my lovely wife. Say hello, Mrs. Florey's story.
Hello everyone. I hope you are all well today.
Please press play, Mrs. Florey's story.
Not a problem. It would be my pleasure.
The Enchanted Grove and the Secret Song. Once upon a time, in the heart of a peaceful kingdom, nestled between towering mountains and sparkling rivers, lay a tiny village called Willowshade. The people of Willowshade lived simple lives, surrounded by nature's wonders. Fields of golden wheat, forests filled with chirping birds, and a nearby lake where the water shimmered like silver in the moonlight. But there was one place in the village that held a special secret: the Enchanted Grove. The Enchanted Grove was an ancient cluster of trees with trunks as wide as a cartwheel and branches that reached so high they seemed to tickle the clouds. The grove was said to be magical, but no one dared venture inside. Legends whispered that it was protected by an old guardian who watched over the trees and their secrets. Young Elise, an adventurous girl with curly brown hair and sparkling green eyes, was the only one in Willowshade who didn't fear the grove. While others told stories about the guardian, she saw the grove as a mystery waiting to be solved. Why do we always avoid it? Elise asked her grandmother one evening. Her grandmother chuckled. Some mysteries are better left alone, my dear. The grove has its magic, and we must respect it. But Elise wasn't convinced. I'm not afraid of a little magic, she whispered to herself. The first adventure is on one bright morning. Elise decided to explore the grove. With her satchel filled with snacks and her wooden flute tucked under her arm, she tiptoed past her dozing cat, Luna, and set off toward the towering trees. As she stepped into the grove, a hush fell over the world. The chirping birds grew silent. The rustling leaves stilled. Elise felt a strange tingling sensation, but her excitement drowned out any nervousness. The deeper she ventured, the more enchanting the grove became. Mushrooms glowed faintly at the base of ancient oaks. Flowers shimmered in colors she had never seen before, and tiny golden lights flickered in the air like fireflies. She felt as though she'd stepped into another world. Then she heard it, a soft, melodic hum, like a song carried by the wind. The sound made her heart skip. She followed the melody, weaving through trees, until she came to a clearing. At the center stood a tree unlike any she'd seen before. Its bark sparkled as if dusted with diamonds, and its leaves shimmered in shades of silver and gold. Beneath the tree sat an elderly man with a long white beard and robes that seemed to blend with the forest. Elise froze, realizing she had found the guardian. The guardian's warning. The old man looked up and smiled. His eyes twinkled with kindness, but also held a glimmer of wisdom that made Elise feel small and humble. "Hello, child," he said, his voice as gentle as a breeze. "What brings you to the heart of the Enchanted Grove?" "I wanted to see the magic for myself," Elise admitted, clutching her flute nervously. The guardian nodded thoughtfully. "Curiosity is a gift, but this grove holds secrets that are not easily understood. You must tread carefully." Elise stepped closer, emboldened by his calm demeanor. "I heard a song," she said. "It was beautiful." "What is it?" The guardian's expression softened. "Ah, the secret song. It is the voice of the grove, a melody that carries the wishes and dreams of all living things. But it is not meant for everyone to hear." "Why not?" Elise asked, her curiosity burning brighter. "Because with great wonder comes great responsibility," he replied. "The song can grant wishes, but only to those with a pure heart and the courage to protect the grove." Elise's eyes widened. "I would never harm this place. Can I hear the full song?" The guardian hesitated, then sighed. "Very well, young one, but only if you pass 3 tests. If you succeed, the grove's magic will forever be your ally. But if you fail, you must promise never to return." "I accept," Elise said without hesitation. The first test. Kindness. The guardian waved his hand, and the clearing transformed into a meadow filled with animals. Birds with bright plumage chirped in the trees, and deer grazed peacefully. But one small rabbit sat apart, its leg trapped in a thorny vine. "Your first test is kindness," the guardian said. "Help the rabbit." Elise approached the rabbit carefully. Its tiny body trembled, and its big brown eyes looked at her with fear. She spoke softly. "It's okay. I'll help you." Gently, she untangled the vines and examined its leg. Using a strip of cloth from her satchel, she wrapped it snugly to protect the wound. The rabbit twitched its nose in gratitude and hopped away, leaving behind a glowing silver feather. The guardian smiled. "Well done. The grove has seen your kindness." The second test. Courage for the second test. The guardian led Elise to a dark part of the grove where the sunlight barely reached. Shadows danced eerily, and the air grew colder. "Your second test is courage," the guardian said. "You must find the lantern hidden in the darkness." Elise swallowed hard, but stepped forward. The trees seemed to close in around her, and unfamiliar sounds rustled in the underbrush. But she reminded herself of the beauty she had seen in the grove and pressed on. Suddenly, a low growl echoed through the shadows. Elise froze as two glowing eyes appeared. A wolf, its fur as black as night, stepped into her path. Though her heart pounded, Elise stood her ground. "I'm not here to hurt you," she said firmly. "I'm just looking for the lantern." The wolf studied her for a moment, then stepped aside. Behind it, Elise saw the lantern, its light glowing faintly. She picked it up, and the wolf disappeared into the darkness. The guardian appeared, his eyes twinkling with pride. "You have shown courage. The grove is pleased." The third test, wisdom. For the final test, the guardian led Elise back to the sparkling tree. In its branches hung 3 golden apples, each glowing faintly. "Your last test is wisdom," he said. "Choose the apple that holds the secret song." Elise studied the apples carefully. One shimmered brightly, another had a soft glow, and the third seemed dull by comparison. She thought about what the guardian had said. The song was not meant for everyone. It wasn't about the brightest or the most dazzling choice. Taking a deep breath, she reached for the dull apple. As her fingers closed around it, the apple burst into light, and a melody filled the air. It was the most beautiful sound Elise had ever heard, as though the grove itself was singing to her. "You have passed," the guardian said. "The secret song is yours." The gift of the grove. The guardian explained that Elise could now call upon the grove's magic whenever she needed it, but only if she used it to help others and protect the forest. When Elise returned to the village, she told no one about the tests or the song, but she often played her flute near the grove, and the villagers noticed how the fields grew greener, the rivers clearer, and the air sweeter. They began to respect the grove, leaving offerings of flowers and fruit at its edge. And though Elise never saw the guardian again, she felt his presence every time she heard the wind whisper through the trees. From that day on, Willowshade flourished, thanks to the bravery, kindness, and wisdom of one curious girl and the magic of the Enchanted Grove. The end. I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did telling it. I will be uploading many more stories for you, so please don't forget to subscribe to this channel because you don't want to miss out on all the other enchanting adventures I have to tell. So from Mrs. Florey Story and I, have a good night and come back tomorrow.